live on digital television, The Show, celebrating the best girls basketball players in Colorado. The Show, a presentation of Biokats Sports Network. Producers of showcase events and academic elite camps for student athletes. Basketball, volleyball, soccer, football, and baseball. Biokats.com.
The Show 2018 Colorado High School All-Star Game. We're here with the top 20 players from 1A to 3A girls game presented by Biokats Sports Network. We're live at Metro State University of Denver, deep in the heart of Denver, downtown Denver. My name's Randy McCoy. Phil Mildren's my engineer, and I am happy to announce that Kevin Schaefer is going to be joining me on the call for these two 1A through 3A games. And Kevin, you might know him as a major celebrity and at Colorado Preps, coloradopreps.com. And Kevin, I was very impressed as watching you know every one of these players without anything. So, and I just talked through our break, so sorry. Here's our public address announcer that will tell us who's going to be on these rosters.
Hosted by Biokats Sports Network. It's time to introduce our lineups. We'll introduce them in their entirety. First up, for the visiting blue team. From Lutheran High School, wearing number 2 today, Haley Shackley. From Centauri, number 3, Amber Casey. From Lavina, number 4, Haley Corsentino. From William, number 5, Grace Silly. From Sterling, number 6, Brooke Poland. From Colorado Springs Christian, number 7, Rachel Ingram. From Albertine, number 8, Gracie Lay. And from William, number 10, Terry Trumper, head coach. And assisted from Lutheran High, Mark Winston and Joel Haywood. And now the designated home team wearing white today. First up, from Kit Carson, wearing number 1, Olivia Eisenberg. From Yuma High, number 2, Cody Robinson. Wearing number 3, from Colorado Springs Christian, Megan Ingesser. From Moffat High, number 4, Alyssa Hamill. From Yuma High, wearing number 6, Chasey Block. From Grand Valley High, wearing number 6, Shayna Chenoweth. From St. Mary's High, number 7, Josephine Howry. And from Kit Carson, number 10, Whitney Casey-Hall. Head coach from Yuma High School, Bob Moss. Ladies and gentlemen, let's play basketball.
And there you have it from the public address announcer from Metro State University. So we've got all the big guns out. Andy McClure, he does the Metro State games. And speaking of big guns, we've got Kevin Schaefer. And Kevin, you know every one of these girls. Have seen most of them play. Yeah. We think this might be one of the better games of the weekend.
I hope so. I hope we see some intensity, you know, especially on the defensive end a little bit, because hopefully some of these rivalries will pop up, because you've got players obviously from some of the top programs in the state, and they've competed against one another on the state tournament level. So hopefully some of that competitiveness comes out. One thing I like, we've got the 1A champs represented with 2 players, Yuma with 2, St. Mary's the 3A titleist. They also have a rep here, so our state champions are well represented here, Randy.
So here we go. White team gets the ball. And knocked out of bounds. Must have went off the blue team, knocked out of bounds. We'll get your officials for this game here in a minute. Like to see that pass into the inside. And there you go, folks.
Yeah, Cody Robinson with the hoop there, Randy, number 2 in the white. Junior guard out of Yuma. Again, they won the state championship this year, and with her and Block on the inside, number 6 here for the white. She returns as well. They're one of the favorites for 2A next year as well.
Nice looking jumper there from, that's Brooke.
Another thing to look for, Randy, is on the defensive end. A lot of these teams will play zone during the regular season, and here you're playing man, so it's a little bit different for them, and you're going to see some missed assignments, obviously.
And we talked a little bit about even conditioning, because if you didn't go deep in the state tournament, you haven't played competitively maybe for 3 or 4 weeks unless you're on a club team.
I'm looking here. I think only 1 of the 10 on the court did not play in the state tournament this year. So, again, they do have some recent workouts, if you will.
Just Chenoweth there from Grand Valley.
Ember Canty with the ball there, just passed over to the right side. She's from Centauri. She's going to play in this gym next year, volleyball for Metro State.
Yeah, you see that crossover quite a bit, especially at the some of the smaller schools. I know Windsor, we did the Windsor games, and almost everybody on the volleyball team was on the basketball team. Left-hand layup got it bumped a little bit, but we talked a little bit about in the All-Star games, there's a couple of things you won't see much of, and one of them are personal fouls, and one of them is defense. But I think in this game, you're liable to see some defense, and the big difference in this and the last game we just did, which was a senior game for boys, the first probably 10 shots were three-pointers. The last game. So
J.C. Block at the line. Randy, didn't mean to interrupt you there, but again, going into her senior year next year against Ray, which finished in the top 4 in 2A and in the same league. She had a game this year where she had 24 points and 22 rebounds. So
wow.
Again, she's a very good basketball player on the 2A level and starting to get some looks from bigger schools across the state here.
And we saw her last night as well in the top 40 game.
Here's a good matchup, too, with Ingram with the basketball guarded by Howry. They're both out of the Springs. They played in the state championship game against one another and met twice during the regular season. So that's a good battle of 2 returning guards from the Springs.
We saw Ingram last night, just a tremendous crossover move. Kind of went viral a little bit.
Arguably the best ball handler in the girls' ranks, 3A and below this year, arguably.
And white ball turnover. 5-0 is our score right now.
Howry with it, Randy. Just a sophomore, coming off a sophomore year. Again, one of the better players in 3A. They're going to lose some inside depth at St. Mary's, so she may be even better stat-wise next year.
A little out of control there, but you're going to see that here in the first quarter of an all-star game. Everybody's kind of getting used to what everybody does, and maybe some of them have played together other all-star games, but takes a quarter to kind of figure that out.
And it's more freelance. I mean, they're used to structured sets in the half-court game, and most of this is freelance, so it's learning to move without the ball with teammates you're not familiar with.
Yep, the old movement offense.
Yep.
Pass and cut, pass and cut. We heard the coach in the earlier game yell, move, move, move. And you know what happens when ISO ball happens, the other 4 stand and watch. So nice move, left-hand layup, just out.
Kind of interesting to see there Engesser with that shot. She's teammates with Rachel Ingram in the blue during the regular year, so they get a chance to compete one-on-one here, so to speak. It's not Ember's game. She's used to playing with her back to the basket.
Well, again, and that's what you said, the all-star games kind of do that, put you in positions that you're not used to. Not that you can't be successful at, but you're just not used to it. Right now, I think that's what you're seeing is already have more fouls here in first quarter. I think that's what you're seeing is neither team is set up for this kind of thing yet, so we'll.
Another thing you get in these all-star games, Randy, are line changes.
Yeah, it's just.
If they had 10, it'd be 5 against 5 here, but I think they have 8 on each roster, so 3 subs off the bench for both teams. There's Olivia Eisenbart. She's returning for the Kid Carson Wildcats next year too. Randy, force inside obviously because of her size on the 1A level, but that program's won the last 2 titles. They have a chance to win at least 2 more.
Yeah, I saw that pretty dominant. The officials for this game, Lisa Conley and Derek Edson.
Eisenbart, one of 5 sisters in that family. One graduated a couple years ago, Michaela. She finished up her eligibility this year. Olivia has one more. They've got a younger sister, Raina, who plays and is very good. And then I think a 6th grader, her mom told me. Her mom is the coach, volleyball coach there at Carson. So there's a lot of Eisenbarts in that small community.
We want to welcome you if you're watching from out some of these smaller towns out in Colorado, and happy that you can watch us. We're on Facebook Live. Tell your friends if you know somebody that'd be interested in this game.
Well, right now we're stretched from Holyoke in the northeast corner. Nice block there. To looking west, I think we got Chenoweth from Grand Valley out at Parachute, so we got a good share of the state covered.
Yes, we do. Long 3. Wouldn't be surprised to not see a timeout or something just to say, all right, girls, let's calm down now. Let's go out and play.
This is Brick Pollens bringing the ball up. She's one of the better shooters we'll see today, especially from that 15-foot range. Played at Sterling, great program up in the northeast.
There you go, Ingram for 3.
Really like her game. I don't think she gets as much credit as she deserves. She's a very good basketball player.
Well, that shot travels everywhere that she just hit. So. Another 3. And the bank is open, and not sure.
Said she was a good shooter. I don't think off the glass from 20 was what I meant, but she is a very good shooter.
Now we got our numbers mixed up. Was that Brooke?
Yes.
Okay, she's number 6.
Interesting story there for number 4, Alyssa Hamill. She's out of Moffat, tiny little community in the San Luis Valley. Team, I think, won 4 games this year, but she averaged over 20 a game, so it'll be interesting to see how she compares with some of the better players across the state as well. Good to see her here.
I like that triple threat position.
And Ingersoll's almost better going to her left like that, all the way to the rim or the pull up in the lane. And she averaged over 20 a game for CSCS, and they finished 2nd in 3A the last 2 years.
Well, you're right about the handles there on Ingram. That was a really nice behind the back crossover. That was really good. 1:59 left here in the first quarter. You're watching the top 20 girls game from 1A through 3A here at the show on Streaming Sports, presented by Biokats. And pretty good defense there. Cut her off at the baseline.
That's Shackley out of Lutheran. Good ball player on both ends of the court. Coach today is her coach during the regular season, Mark Duchman.
And ball out of bounds. Belonging to Blue. 9-6 our score. And good thought, just not able to hold the defense off. And block shot there.
And that was Shackley with some good defense. That's 2 trips in a row for the Lutheran standout on that end of the court. Nice block on the Chenoweth drive.
Said they let a few things go, probably that they wouldn't let go in the regular season. One of them is some of the reaching, but got to be strong. Blue possession, 1:03 left here. We're at Metro State University of Denver. They call it the Nest.
Okay.
According to Mr. Phil Mildren.
He knows everything, doesn't he?
He does, pretty much. He's the smartest guy I know.
You need to get out more.
Rebound, put back, and she gets fouled, number 5. Grace Dilly from Holyoke. Where is Holyoke?
Northeast corner of the state. You'd go up to Sterling and hang a right for about 50 miles, and you run into Holyoke. Good basketball programs on both the boys and girls. In fact, the boys won the title 2 years ago. Girls just won the consolation title this, couple of weeks ago. And Grace Dilly, her dad is the boys coach up there at Holyoke.
What a great looking shot.
Yeah, you can tell she's a coach's daughter.
That is a that's a thing of beauty, fundamentally.
And she averaged a double-double during the regular season. Don't quote me on this, but about 17 points, 12 rebounds were her season totals. Very good ball player.
We'll send the stat police after you if that's not right. And finally, a foul is called with all the offensive rebounding right now.
Josephine Howery at the line again of the state champion St. Mary's Lady Pirates there on the 3A level. They have been close so many times, lost a double overtime state final to Holy Family a few years back, and it seems like they're always in the grade 8, and they finally climbed the top of the mountain, and she's a major reason why. Again, still has 2 years left of eligibility, and her stock will only rise because she is a very good point guard.
Yeah,
very good.
That's a good shot, and what you need is a point guard who can hit free throws too, because they have their hands on the ball at the end of games.
And she's got a running mate who's going to be back. Sierra Hackney, I think, is her name, and she's also going to be a junior, and she's equally good as an off guard there for the Lady Pirates.
Turnover there, white ball. Probably be the last shot here of the first quarter. Very competitive game so far. Boy, what a nice drive and kick. And there you have it, folks, our first quarter. The white team 11, the blue team 8. We'll be back after these messages. You're watching Stream It Sports. We're back here, beginning of the second quarter. Nice shot, number 2. That's Cody Robinson from Yuma.
And she'll be back for another year as well. And again, the Indians, they've played in 5 of the last 6 state championship games with 2 titles, and just a great program there on the Eastern Plains. And if you haven't been to their gym to watch a game, that's one you should put up on your list.
And nice left-hand layup by that's Brooke Polins.
Yep. Good ball player. Actually, I think going to play softball on the collegiate level. A good all-around athlete up there in the northeast corner.
So here we go. A little relaxation now. Number 3, that's Megan Engesser from Colorado Springs Christian with the 3.
Obviously a great family tradition there, as 2 older brothers that played college ball in state. Her dad's the coach, and just a tremendous program there as well.
Good defense. Didn't give up on the ball, but the white team is also not giving up on the ball. Blue ball.
Good work. You look at their size. Number 10 for the white team is Michaela Eisenbart. They list her at 6'2", and small school level 1A division. She plays point guard for them, has been a 4-year starter. And so even though she's one of the bigger ones out there, she's used to playing on the perimeter.
Blue ball underneath.
Signed to play at UNC up in Greeley next year, and they obviously coming off that NCAA tournament appearance.
She'll be joining a local to NOCO broadcast with Savannah Smith.
Yep. Yep.
Who, we covered her for a few years at Fossil Ridge.
They had a great run.
Oh, they did. And UNC definitely goes after the locals. Probably as good as any school in Colorado. Yuma, we were talking about that. They did the double up, the boys and the girls, I believe, didn't they?
Yep.
Both won the state title.
And just so you know, they have not stopped celebrating.
Sounds like a man who knows.
Their coach, again, Bob Rahm, over here is leading the white team here at this tournament. He's a former boys coach out there and had good success with the Indians, and then switched over to the girls the last 2 years. And again, they didn't make the finals 2 years ago, but we're a state semifinalist team. So that's a team that pencils in a long trip to mid-March every year on their calendar.
Well, if you can coach, you can coach. So.
Oh, yeah. Nice bounce pass. Whoop. It's one step too late.
And good closeout speed there by Polans. Both teams playing hard, and that's really what you want to see here, you know.
That's pretty good bounce pass down.
Yeah, it was.
Straight down the floor. That's the toughest angle.
You could tell she was like, is this really me dribbling this ball down the court? My gosh, you did it, and you made a great pass.
And also had the comforts to know that a regular teammate was on the other end there, Cody Robinson.
She's going to go to the line now.
Just an intense basketball player. We talk about all of Yuma's success, and one thing that kind of sets them apart, I think, is their intensity and their aggressiveness. Just after loose balls, rebounds, those type of things.
Well, we both know we've both been around a long time, and a
Hustle
lot
travels.
of times, yes, it does. It never goes in a slump, just like speed. Some teams, you see all the talent in the world, they don't play hard, and I call those 500 teams. We've seen many of them. Good body control, not able to finish the shot, but nice. I love the way she popped out there. That's Howery.
Yeah, confidence again. Great ball handler, lead guard, but can shoot the three and score when you need to.
Well, she knew where she wanted to be on the court, didn't she? Oh, nice block.
And Bercanti kind of leading the charge there, number 3 in the blue. She's out of Centauri High School. Again, she will graduate here in a couple weeks. And but her program, Centauri, in the state tournament for 4 straight years. First time that's happened in school history. Her coach is here as well, Dave Forster. Great program down in the San Luis Valley. La Jara is the hometown of Centauri. You know where that is, don't you, Randy?
Oh, yeah. I was there last weekend. Vacation there.
Yeah, she's a 4-year starter as well.
First shot, Ingram's taken in a bit, and you know, shooters and kind of get their rhythm, and
just came off the bench.
Nice. That's Canty from Centauri.
That's actually Shackley.
Or Shackley, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Haley Shackley, again, good size, but she's a perimeter player for the Lions. They won the regular season title in the 3A Metro and came up a game shy of making the state tournament. Trying to remember who they lost to, but that was at least 2 weeks ago.
I'm sure it'll come back to you.
Moffat County, there you go, up in Craig.
Good look off. Nice looking shot. I love the way she dribbled to the right, looked away from where she was going to pass it, came right back to the post. And left hand back up and in. It's Eisenbart from Kit Carson.
Yeah, that's her game. They have 4 other girls in the starting lineup that can play on the perimeter, but her job is to run to the baseline and get rebounds and get putbacks like she did just there.
Very similar to a girl that we just watched earlier in the day, the senior game, Delcy Johnson from Fort Collins. She ended up getting the MVP, had a double-double, so very similar game. You do see kind of the classic inside players at the girls' game with 3. That's Shackley.
Brought them back within range there. What is that, 3 threes, I think, from the Lutheran standout. So they're staying within range of the blue.
And that's good defense. Telegraph that one, and that's a tough angle. We've talked a little bit about that the other games. That usually you want to get over on the wing before you try to get the ball inside on that low block. Yeah, that's a good shot. She's got to take that, though. You know, she comes down and
she doesn't look like she gets tired, though, either.
No.
You know,
some of the old school purists would say, "What in the world are you doing?" And I was like, this ain't your grandfather's basketball anymore, is it?
No.
At any level. Oh, nice. Nice inside look. And gonna be white basketball. Great pass, just wasn't able to finish it.
And Ember Canty again out of Centauri on the 3A level. Again, I say a 4-year starter. It was kind of second semester when she stepped into the starting lineup as a freshman, but very good with both hands. You saw her go to the left side there and it just trickled off, but that what made her effective in the post is the ability to go right or left. The thing you notice about number 10 in the blue, Taryn Trumper, just there, her jumping ability.
Yeah.
And when she pulls up in the lane with the jump shot, it's one of the best strokes you will see in the women's game in Colorado. Just a sophomore. We're coming off her sophomore year.
Oh, great pass inside, but better defense.
And that's Shackley. She's been playing well on both ends for that blue squad. Called her name a lot.
23-16 her score, a minute left here in the first half. Randy McCoy, Kevin Schaefer here with you. Phil Mildren is our engineer. And foul.
That's another thing that travels in today's game is that top of the key weave.
Yes, it does.
Where you're looking for the drive just like that from Chenoweth.
Chenoweth to the line.
Yes.
6-team foul for the white team, or for the white team. First team foul for the blue team.
Another prolific
Or,
scorer.
sorry, it's opposite. I'm sorry. There's nothing up on the scoreboard that says blue and white, so 6-team foul for the blue team.
Chenoweth again coming off her sophomore year, a big-time scorer out for Grand Valley out in Parachute. Again, over 20 points a game, and again, one of the better players on that side of the hill.
And, boy, she sized that up, put it right in, didn't she?
Yeah, that's Kaylee Corsentino out of Little La
Vida.
Just west of Walsenburg there on Highway 50, and she's a better volleyball player than she is basketball player. They've got a great program on the volleyball courts there with the Redskins.
Oh, good hustle play right there by Trumper. Tell you what, blue team hit a shot right here, and they're right back in this. They are anyway, down 6 with only 8 seconds left. And draws the foul. I like the way she didn't just settle for a 3. Went in and drew another foul.
Again, that's more of Cody's game. Cody Robinson out of Yuma. You know, she's a guard, and you expect a lot of three-pointers, but she's better and more effective, you know, say from 10 feet on in, getting to the rim, either scoring or dishing off many times to Chasey Block. Block was named Player of the Year in 2A this year, just this week, and I'm sure a lot of votes could have gone to Robinson as well.
Boy, great surprise defense there. Almost caught Ingram by surprise to a turnover, but did not. So there's your first half, folks. 27-19. White team is ahead of the blue team. We'll be back with the second half. And after a bit, you're watching Streaming Sports. Kevin, you got some stats for us here of the first half?
Well, we look at scoring from the white team that leads 27-19. Josephine Howery had 7 points to lead the way. She's from St. Mary's. Cody Robinson out of Yuma had 6. Chasey Block from Yuma had 5. Olivia Eisenbart from Kit Carson 4. Megan Engesser from CSCS had 3. And Alyssa Hamill from Moffett rounded out the scoring. She had 2. For the blue squad, Haley Shackley, a couple of 3-pointers from Lutheran. She led the way with 6. Brooke Polans out of Sterling had 5. Rachel Ingram and Kaylee Corsentino with 3 apiece. And Grace Dilly had 2.
And double dribble here as the white team got the ball first on the inbound. Blue ball. Third quarter here. Randy McCoy, Kevin Schaefer here with you. Proud to bring you the 1A through 3A top 20 game, the show. The best Colorado high school girls basketball player. Nice left-hand scoop.
That's Taryn Trumper again, soon to be a junior at Holyoke. And again, got good ups for her size and showed good control to the rim there.
Folks, that's no easy shot.
Nope.
Going left hand up and under like that as Hamill with the putback.
And she's out of Moffett High School, not Moffett County and Craig, but Moffett down in Saguache, Colorado. How about that?
Another of my vacationing places.
I was within an hour of that earlier this week, just so you know. And I wasn't lost. I knew where I was going. In San Luis Valley, 14, 15 schools down there, kind of broken off from the rest of the state. Great basketball, but Ingram a good player, obviously.
Blue team needs a couple stops here so they can get back in this. But they're not going to stop that young lady. That's Hamill again.
She's got pretty good size and obviously knows what to do with it when she has it down low with her back to the basket. That's 2 nice moves.
Now, folks, just for you basketball people, that's where you want to try to put the ball into the block from the wing over there, not from the top. And you still see it done quite a bit and typically results in a turnover, but that time it's just a kick ball. Drew the foul and good sportsmanship there.
Good job by Michaela Eisenbart there, not trying to pinpoint that pass. She just kind of laid it out there and let her teammate run in underneath it for the layup attempt. Nice to see Jacket work already.
Well, you know, you see all kinds of celebrity sightings here. And there's a missed free throw from Howery.
JacksActionShots.com. We'll give him some pub here. He does great work with photography.
Oh, yes.
He's even shooting with his bill of his cap in the proper place right now.
Yes, well, you know, he good block. Again, we don't have instant replay to see every frame of whether skin was touched, so we'll call it a good block and move on.
It's Hamill again. A couple of nice moves offensively and then gets the nice block defensively.
So 1A through 3A, tell us a little bit, Kevin, what's the average size of a high school in 1A through 3A?
Oh, you're going to push me a little bit there. I think 1A is about 75 and below. 2A probably stretches up to about 250, and then 3A, gosh, you can get up to 500-600, I think. That's a
Nice.
quiz I wasn't ready for.
Well, you know what?
But you've got
That's my middle name. Just kind of giving our viewers a little bit of idea of what.
Well, you look at Kit Carson.
Nice step back three.
Yeah, where the Eisenbarts play. I think they've got 35 to 40 students in their entire high school.
Wow.
And 5 of them are 5'10" and bigger and start for the girls basketball team. The funny thing is the boys have one guy who's 6 foot, everybody else is about 5'5". So all the height was tilted toward one way. Then you get to Holyoke, they're probably around the 200, 180 to 200. Yuma's in the 250 mark. CSCS and St. Mary's probably pushing 400, I would assume. Same way with Sterling.
Another three, and blue team making a run here, 32-29, 1 possession away.
Brooke Collins with the jumper there. Like I said, she's a pretty good shooter, so that's in her game normally.
One thing I've noticed with the girls, they will use that left hand if they're on the left-hand side of the basket. Blue ball, 4:52 left here. And a little conversing there. Nice shot. That's priceless right there.
Well, those two have battled on opposite ends at the 3A state tournament the last 4 years, Sterling and Centauri.
Well, Ingram runs on one speed, doesn't she?
Yeah, just like her game a lot. There's Paulins again.
Oh, another one. And we got a tie game here, folks.
Yeah, 15 to 20 feet. She's pretty much money, especially when she gets it going here. She's got good rotation and just a good shooter all around.
So the blue team has come out relaxed and probably hitting some of those shots, but they're playing defense too.
Makes a difference. And shooting is contagious, as you know, Randy. One goes in, the other one starts to go in as well.
Well, and what I liked about them is we didn't see in our earlier game is, they kept it close so that when they got hot, they'd be within striking distance, and they've done that and tied the ball game up. And here's Ingram for a long three, nothing but the bottom of the net.
They're also starting to figure out, you talked early in the game about movement without the ball. They're starting to share the ball more. You're getting 5-6 passes before a look, reversing the ball a little bit, so they're starting to get familiar with one another.
Yeah. The easiest person to guard is somebody who doesn't move.
Yep. It's probably a foul in regular season play, but it's a play on here.
It's a play on here, and we're okay with that.
Yep.
Last thing people want to see is
free throws.
All-Star game is free throws and timeouts. Oh, almost. See who comes away with this scrum here, and the blue team gets it. I believe it's number 5.
It's Grace Dilly out of Holyoke.
Dilly.
How about a strategic timeout from the
That
blue
is a
bench?
strategic timeout, and I'll tell you what, that's great. So with 3:11 left here in the third quarter, our score, the blue team has come back to take the lead 35-32. We'll be back after these messages. You're watching Streaming Sports. So we're back here. Blue ball underneath the bucket, out of bounds, and
So I was waiting for a set play off that strategic timeout, Randy.
yeah, well, you know what? I was saying earlier, there's about 2 or 3 inbound plays that every basketball player has run since they were in 6th grade. But I don't recognize the one they just ran. So there's the line one, and that's pretty much the easiest one to do.
They're screen away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Set in a box and screen away.
I think everybody just thinks they can get open by just moving. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Nice turnaround, and that may be one of the easier foul calls of the game right there.
Foul shot number 3, Ember Casey. That is the second team foul on blue here in the second half. At the line, number 6.
Got a foul fest here. That's our second foul. So the white team now finds themselves down by 3. Blue team came out with some energy, and as you said, it looked like they were decided to share the ball a little bit. And not that they were hogging the ball or whatever you want to say the first half, but it's just working a little better for them this half.
Well, it was kind of one-sided. When I mean that, it was one side of the court where they were moving and kind of weaving, and here they've kind of started to reverse the basketball, and when you do that, you're going to get better looks, obviously.
Oh, good one. And down there on that steal, that's where the ball fake is most handy. You do that ball fake and this thing that we used to use in basketball called a bounce pass. Another foul. It's Canty. That's her third foul, or third team foul. Chasey Block, and you just informed me, I did not know that she was 2A Player of the Year in girls basketball.
And again, coming off her junior year, so she's got one more year back. And again, I believe she averaged a double-double as well.
Boy, that is a good feeling to know when you're a coach, isn't it? You
Oh,
got the Player of the Year coming back for another year.
And probably the runner-up as well. I mean, Cody Robinson and Chasey Block, they've both played significant minutes since their freshman year and started the last 2 years. And
no reason to think they won't
they're always
be right there next year.
Yeah, they're going to be in the mix. Like I said, they've played in 5 of the last 6 state championship games on the 2A level.
Nice. That's a nice pass.
Yeah, Megan Engesser's a good ball handler as well. We talk about Ingram with her handle, a little more flash in her game, but Engesser fundamentally is one of the better players out there and can score.
And that's exactly what we were talking, or what I was talking about. That's such a hard pass into the post. So white ball, 36-35 now. We've got ourselves a basketball game here. Whoa, nothing but net.
Cody Robinson out there again. She doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but when she does, she's usually pretty good at it, but her game is mainly driving to the basket. Ingram never stops moving.
No, she doesn't. She's like I said, she's got one speed. Trumper's pretty close to her though. Between those two, I'll tell you what. And yeah, I was gonna say.
That's a travel even in an all-star game.
Yeah, even in an all-star game. That's only LeBron James gets by with that one. So now we'll see what the white team does. They've got a little run here going.
And a little weave here too, it looks like.
For the three, that's a good shot. It's a good pass, good shot. Just didn't go in, but
pretty good rebound too by Canty. Another one of her strengths is the ability to grab the defensive rebound and lead the break.
And who comes out with the ball?
Ingram.
Miss Ingram. Oh, nice pass by Cody Robinson. Block shot that time, but able to get it back and go up with it.
Yeah, Canty blocked that time, but Chasey with a good job of staying with it to get the putback.
Little force there, but I'm sure she's made that shot before, so. The white team is broke out to a 6-point lead again, 15 seconds left. Boy, what a good pass. I'll tell you what, it's like she knew exactly where she was, what she wanted to do. See if she can get this off before the buzzer. She can. And two, hits it. What a great pass. Robinson with the layup. So after 43-35, the white team comes back, takes an 8-point lead. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this. You're watching Stream of Sports. So we're back here Beginning of the fourth quarter, 43-35. Randy McCoy, Kevin Schaefer here with you. Should be an exciting fourth quarter here, Kevin.
Yeah, got a good ball game, and the intensity's been pretty good, and I think it'll just go up a notch here as we try to decide the outcome. You know, it's an all-star game, and we're playing for fun, but these girls obviously are serious about what they do, and they like to win.
Yes, they do. And there's a lot of wins represented on this floor, aren't there?
A few. Might have to get back with you on the total.
Well, just so you have it by the end of the game, we'll be good. I won't throw you for that big a curve, and the foul is.
Okay. Those two players have 49 wins this year. Okay,
that's pretty good.
You mentioned wins, though. Kid Carson again. Eisenbart had the foul there, but they've gone undefeated the last 2 years. All-time winning record for girls basketball, I want to say, is 78 with McClave, another little tiny school in the southeast corner. So if Kid Carson does another year like that, the following year they have a chance to set a record, and they've got enough talent. They only lose one player from their state championship team this year.
Oh, boy, what a defensive play. She squared that up. She knew what she was going to do, and then she blocked it and got it back, you know, instead of knocking it into the second row.
Another thing that's nice about that, she used her left hand.
She did.
And most of your shooters are right-handed. So if you're using your left hand to block, you square up pretty well with that. And like you said, she also controlled it after the tap.
It's simple physics, Kevin.
Never took that class.
Trust me, it is.
That starts with an F, right? Physics starts. Physics starts with an F, right?
Yeah.
It did on my grade. Grading.
Started and ended with an F, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I love this defense by Canty.
If you play for Dave Forster down at Centauri, Randy, you have to play defense. Got a state championship in his back pocket around 07-08, and they won it based on their defense. Again, look at that. Oh.
Howery hit the three over there, we didn't mention. And the white team has run out here to a 9-point lead. You know, we talk about this a lot. Sometimes it takes so much to get back into a game that then when you get back, then you don't really have enough to finish it off. So we'll see. Plus the white team looks like they've gotten kind of refocused a little bit. Very impressive young ladies out here playing basketball.
The one at the foul line is probably a top 30 player in the state, regardless of class, really, Randy. She's very, very good. Can handle the ball with anybody. Obviously could knock down a shot. Watched her play against Colorado Springs Christian and in the first of their 2 regular season battles. And St. Mary's was down 17-6 in the first quarter, and that girl there led them back to get the win. And those two ended up playing each other for the state title as well. Just a very good player. And again, going to be a junior.
There's no doubt that the girls' game is alive and well. Colorado's turning out all kinds of good players here.
It's actually a very good state for girls basketball, volleyball as well, to be honest with you, Randy. But seems like each year 2 or 3 girls go high level Division I. You know, the Grandview Onion Ware, she's been named Freshman of the Year a couple of years this year out on the Pac-12 with UCLA, and she's got a younger sister that can play. And just each year we seem like we get somebody going to a top-tier program on the Division I level.
And even some of the, you know, we talked about Savannah Smith as well, you know, who's, even though that's not a big school, still a.
They beat LSU this year.
Yeah.
Beat LSU, made the NCAA tournament, played well in their first round game, you know, so.
Yeah, did not get blown out by Michigan, I believe they played.
And they're not there without her.
No. You know, we talk about college. Sometimes some of these players, they actually get better when they've got a few more pieces around them and different things. They don't have to carry the whole team.
Oh, yeah.
So many times in high school, you're a good player here, you've got to carry way more. And there's an inbound pass.
And you're also allowed to do what you do best, because sometimes if you're big, even if your game isn't on the inside, you play on the inside.
Exactly.
And when you get to the next level, you've got a lot of bigs, and if you play the 3, you can get that spot in college.
That's why it's always good to train your basketball player to handle the ball regardless of their size and footwork and all that stuff. And ball out of bounds, blue ball. You know, me and you grew up, if you were 6'3", 6'4", you'd play high school as a guy, and you'd be inside, and you'd never come out and shoot anything. And they'd try to go play college, and they didn't have it. They didn't have anything to do.
Yeah, not the case anymore, though. It's a 3-point game anymore.
Yes. I don't even think you'd get a look if you couldn't do something in the three-point line. What a pass. Perfectly led right into her hands, which is how you want to pass the ball.
I think that was Dilly from Holyoke with the feed into Canty from Centauri on the inside.
Difference right now I see is the white team is getting layups and the blue team's shooting jump shots. So,
and when the jump shots went in, they rallied and cut into the lead and tied it up. Got a lot of size on this white team, though.
And that's another thing that sometimes travels pretty well, too.
Yep. Livy Eisenbart there with Kit Carson. Again, her older sister's Michaela. She's back for her senior year. They have another girl down there that probably could be in this game, Tess Horning, another 6-footer that can play. And was kind of surprised she wasn't included in the roster as well. She's one of those that can knock down the 3 or play with her back to the basket.
You're right. Those jumpers that were falling in the third quarter.
You get a little winded, too. You
Yeah.
know, you talked about conditioning in the first half, and you've had the break off intermission there, and you come out a little more fresh in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, though, not so much.
And, you know, they don't have deep benches. These are not 15-people teams. Or
Yeah, I think they started with 10 apiece and
ended up with 8.
Yeah, a couple of them didn't show. Like I said, I was hoping the girl from Del Norte was going to be here. She was on the initial roster, and I think we'll see her older brother play in the next game, but she's one of the best standouts in Colorado as well, just a little sophomore, but can play.
Boy, there's just nothing Ingram won't try, is there? You could just tell. She just, and you know what? She didn't get her head down on that or anything. You know,
Chuckle.
you just go, oh, well. 3:28 left. I got a kick out of that. It's like, I'll throw it up. Ah, it didn't go in.
Yep. That's a tough angle.
And that's something you don't hear very often either in an all-star game, is we're in the bonus. But we are.
These two are going in, Randy. One thing that Engesser does extremely well, and it adds to her point total, is drive to the basket, gets fouled, but she also converts here.
Yeah, she hits her free throws.
And so the rim is not a friend of hers at the free throw line. It's mostly just nothing but net. She's very, very good at that spot. And when you score 23, 24 a game, you've got to be able to do that. And the ability to use the left hand didn't go there, but.
Yeah, and in a different game, you know, that might have been a foul with the body too as well, you know, and not a 11-point game. Well, she sized that up, didn't she? Used her screen perfectly. Nice pass.
Also good recognition of where she was on the court for Shackley. She's knocked down a couple of threes and shows a nice step through there in the post. Good use of the head fake there. Chasey block again. Arguably, Randy, she may be the one on the court that has shown the most improvement from 2 years ago to this past year. Leaps and bounds from her sophomore to junior year.
Ooh, what a That's a clean pick.
She got rewarded on the other end with
Yes,
the putback as well. Oh.
There you go. Like this game ain't over. There's no dunk fest here.
She's hit 2 already.
Whoa, nothing but net. Shackley from Lutheran.
She and Poland's probably the leading candidates for players of the blue team. Ingram in that mix as well, but Shackley I think has 11, including 3 3-pointers. Made some nice defensive plays as well.
This is going to be a sub timeout that fooled me 2 games ago into thinking it was a full timeout, but it's not. White ball.
Maybe we should make all-star games like hockey where you can exchange on the fly.
Yeah, that would be.
You just can't have 6 on the court at one time.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Another 3.
You what? Yeah, you could pull the goalie. Yeah, right, Phil.
Oh, Mister running down, but finally got it to Trumper. Whoa, 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 whoa. What a shot.
Yeah, she's got good leaping ability too. I mean, she's not the tallest, obviously, but she gets up in the air to.
That was quick.
Yep.
Boy, way to turn her on there on the defense.
And I think Trumper's a name you're going to hear more of. Again, she'll be a junior next year. Grace Dilley was her teammate. Got a lot of the recognition as a senior, but with her gone, Trumper's going to be asked to do a lot more.
Foul on the blue team.
On number 3, Ember Canty.
Good thing they're not keeping individual totals. I think Ember might be done.
Yeah, they.
She's had a few.
Well, you know what? If they're not going to take me out, let's just keep using them.
Yep. Going to finish up her high school career here today. Going to go out with a bang, so to speak. But again, she'll be back on this court playing volleyball next year.
Now, do you know of any of these players or where they may be going, or if they're playing on to the next? I think you mentioned a couple.
There's not a lot of seniors out here, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's right. I've done so many games, I forget this isn't a senior game.
Yeah, yeah. And not all of them will play basketball as a collegiate sport.
Well,
like
we were talking about that earlier. That,
yeah.
You know, volleyball and basketball fit together so well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the same skill set. Colorado girls volleyball is huge.
And Canty, again, she'll be here next year with Metro. Her dad is in the stands, used to be the girls' coach at Sanford, nearby Centauri, about 4 miles away. And said she's going to study chemistry. So she's got a lot on her plate next year.
Under 30 seconds left now, 10-point game. And gets fouled on the 3.
Brooke Paulins, again, you mentioned, I'm not sure where she's headed, but I believe she's playing softball on the next level. Sterling also has a great program there as well.
A lot of opportunities
for
female athletes in the college ranks.
And that's a good thing. I know she likes basketball, but because of size anymore, you know, you almost got to be 6 foot to get a serious look on the collegiate level. And so I think she's going to play the softball route.
Right on, boy, I'll tell you what. 15 seconds left now. What great position. You know, you got to play below the rim. You've got to be able to get position. You got to have footwork.
Mm-hmm. But she drops the shoulder pretty nicely there. She's done that 2 or 3 times. Alyssa Hamill, to where you take that power dribble and drop your shoulder in. She's done that pretty nicely. Didn't convert there, but
4 seconds left. And I bet you Ingram takes this. And she does. So anyway, there you go, folks. 56-47, the white team. In a game stayed pretty competitive the entire game. And that's good. We want to thank Kevin Schaefer. He'll be back with me on the boys game. We'll be back in about 20 minutes or 30 minutes or something like that. I think it's got a 4:30 start time.
Yep.
So we'll be back. And any closing thoughts here, Kevin, for as you're taking a drink, and I dip you in the grease one more time?
That's all right. I just saw a lot of talent out there. Again, you're not seeing a lot of seniors on the court, so a lot of these kids may be back for this game or maybe a next level game next year. But a lot of these players will also, Randy, be in the mix for state championships for their teams and schools next year. So again, a lot of familiar names that you'll see again next year.
And we hope that we've been giving them just a little bit more of a some recognition in this game, and we hope you'll keep an eye on some of those scores, those 1A through 3A girls games. Anyway, for Kevin Schaefer, Phil Mildren, this is Randy McCoy. Final score: the white team wins, going away against the blue team, and we'll be back about 30 minutes for the boys game. We'll see you next time.
That concludes our broadcast of the show, Girls Basketball All-Star Game. The show is a presentation of Biokats Sports Network, producers of showcase events and academic elite camps for student athletes. This has been a Stream It Sports production.